Here are the 5 for Philadelphia. Maxey and Edgecombe man the backcourt. Then there's Paul George. Then it's Joel Embiid. And it's Barlow in at the 4-man position. And for the Celtics, Tatum at the 4 with Queta in at the 5. White and Brown team up as the backcourt. And it's Hauser in at the 3, the small forward. The start of a fresh season. But we know the focus for both of these teams is to come out strong today.
Yeah, for the first handful of games, you just want to play hard and build some chemistry. Get more comfortable with your teammates while also learning their tendencies and preferences. He just brings a great feel for the game at the offensive end.
Outside Tatum. To the middle. And they're going to count that bucket, and they'll send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Well, Stan, Joe Mazzulla is a young head coach taking over on the Celtics bench in 2022.
Well, B.A., he's got a rare intensity about him.
One shot.
Certainly not afraid to think outside the box, and obviously the results speak for themselves.
Well, we have a chance to hear from Shams Charania. He's calling in right now. Shams, great to have you on, bud.
Well, the Sixers are one of the more high-variance teams in the league. With their star veterans in PG and Embiid fully healthy, they have a chance to win the East. Without, they'll need to lean heavily on their promising young players.
They are plenty talented. Thank you, Shams. And Tyrese Maxey gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game. Now here's White. Boy, he just disappeared against Philadelphia. They needed him. He's off on the layup. Pass to Barlow. Second shot opportunity, and he lays it up and in.
Well, a sharp start for them. 3 of 4 from the field.
Here's Queta. Embiid covers. Good setup. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. Queta's got 5 now.
Passing out of a pick and roll. Tatum's such a good decision maker. You want the ball in his hands.
Now here's Maxey. What a tremendous game he played against Boston. Clock at 6. Now here's Embiid. Tightly guarded. Oh, he used the shot fake to create the angle, but he couldn't get it to fall. Pass to White. Down low. Here's Tatum. That shot is off.
That's their plan, to get him an opportunity to finish in tight. That's a miss they can live with.
Here's Embiid. Queta pulls it in. For Boston, they've gone just 2 for 4 from the floor. Tatum. And here's Brown for 3. Rebound by Philadelphia. George outside. Here's the 3. 2 shots, 2 makes. Off to a good start.
You're capable of shooting 40% from deep for a season. Paul George is steady from downtown.
Outside White. Pass to Brown. Fires the 3. Joel Embiid with the board.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Back to Maxey. It's blocked.
On defense, how valuable is White? He's a guard who can protect the rim.
Celtics trail by 6. Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
White, the pass to Tatum. Inside, Embiid with a steal. Here's Barlow. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. That one on Tatum. Philadelphia shooting their first free throws here tonight. Free throw no good. And last season, Grant, the sale of the Celtics franchise for $6.1 billion. It seemed like a lot at the time.
Well, yeah, that was until the Lakers sale hit 11 digits last summer, B.A. But in both cases, basketball decision-making doesn't change right away. In the case of the Celtics, the governorship doesn't transfer until 2028.
And he's good on the second. And for the Sixers, the growth of Tyrese Maxey has meant everything, Grant.
Oh, my. His growth, both with his play, but also with his leadership, has meant a lot. And he has such a joyful energy. It really helps pull this team together.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls a timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. And now looking at the 2K leaderboard. Here's a view of which teams last year got after it with their shot blocking. Fifth on the list, the Celtics.
Now, we all know they didn't allow any easy buckets last season. I mean, their defense was tremendous, and the rim protection was just outstanding.
Brown with it. Maxey covering. Hauser outside. Pass to Brown. And he's now 1 for 4 after that one.
When he gets to his spot, Jaylen Brown is money from the mid-range.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Joe Mazzulla. I asked, what do you do about Tyrese Maxey, a guy who can spark plays out of thin air? Coach let me in on their strategy, saying, I'm trying to keep someone in front of him all night. I don't want Maxey seeing the shots he wants or the passing lanes he's looking for. It's a tough assignment, but coach says he's got the right guys for the job. Back over to you, B.A.
Appreciate the report, Allie. Outside White. Back to Tatum from deep. And the three-pointer goes.
Well, look at how his team works to get Tatum set up for success. Feeding him when he's ready to fire.
Now here's Embiid. 33 points last game. That one drops for him. Embiid's got 6.
And you like the balance here, not just falling in love with the three ball.
Outside White. On the wing, Tatum. Charity stripe shot. There's the block. Pass to George. Puts up a 3. Drops in the 3. Give him 8.
Getting out to a nice lead. Great flow and great execution.
And White has got the ball here for the Boston Celtics. They trail by 9. Going inside. Gets his second attempt to go. Now he's 1 for 2.
Cunning drive by White. He saw a hole and took advantage.
George outside. Back to Maxey. Pass to Edgecombe. Embiid, a screen on Brown. And here's Embiid. The kick out to Maxey. Here's George. And the jam by George.
George's athleticism has always been a strength. Not many guys can pull off that dunk.
How about that elevated look on the AT&T Connected Cam? Celtics trail by 9. Hauser outside. Now here's Tatum. To the inside. To the paint. Unloads. White can't hit. Philadelphia has gone 2 of 2 at the perimeter. Embiid passes to Maxey. Back to Embiid. The kick out to Maxey. The ball's knocked loose.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
The Sixers lead by 9. Tatum feeling it out a bit. Outside White. Hauser outside. Inside. Here's Brown. And Brown with the stuff.
Well, Brown helps out with the screen and then gets rewarded with an opening to attack.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call a timeout here. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy. Got a line change here for Boston. And a quick look at how things have been since the All-Star break. Checking out the three-point shot ratio for the Celtics.
And they've really been letting it fly from deep. You see more and more teams doing this in today's NBA, given the league's increased focus on perimeter shooting.
Here's Barlow. He's got 5. Back to Embiid. Right side Grimes. Releases. And the basket by Embiid. Embiid's got 8.
Yeah, we know Embiid can do it one-on-one, but the catch-and-shoot jumper is showing his versatility.
Pass to Vucevic. And Vucevic slams it in.
And just a lack of fight right now on the defensive end.
Right? At least on that slam it was. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, but also credit the offense there. That's making a play when you really need it, and they need more of it.
Maxey, that's good.
And this defense needs to turn the screws and ramp up the intensity. They're looking a little loose out there right now.
Pass to Gonzalez. Outside Pritchard. Here's Shireman. Nice ball movement by Boston. Just 5 on the clock. Late clock. The Celtics got to hurry here. The shot by Garza, no good.
They're playing with a lot of energy tonight. We can see that in their dominance on the glass.
Outside Grimes. Pass to Maxey. The 3. Kept alive. Here's Embiid. Makes a fantastic move and nails the shot. And now it's a 12-point Philadelphia lead. With the step back. Here's Garza to the wing, right side. Outside Pritchard. Takes the 3. And Grimes pulls it down. Philadelphia has gone 3 for 5 from deep so far in this matchup. To the right side. Here's Shireman. And a miss there on the triple.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Outside Grimes. Back to Maxey. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Maxey's got 5 now.
Yeah, their aggressive approach on the offensive glass has created second chance opportunities.
Philadelphia leading by 14. On the attack, Embiid nails it. He's now 6 for 8 from the floor.
This has been just a dreadful start for them defensively. Not good at all.
And so it's Pritchard who brings up the ball for the Celtics. To stop the drought. And the basket by Shireman.
Well, that's easy pickings for him. Unless the defense is all over him, he'll take that all day long.
And here's Maxey outside. Boston pulls it in.
Well, you can tell he's forcing things a bit at the moment. He's been trying to get it going, but this hasn't been his quarter.
There's 21 seconds left to play in the first. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow. Here's Gonzalez. Count it. Good. Here's Maxey. He's got 5. Outside Oubre. On target from range. And the 76ers lead by 15. And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. Philadelphia on top, up by 15. And we'll be back in just a minute with the start of the second quarter. And so far through 1 quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a moment to check out the scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
You know, another thing that has impressed me has been their numbers of points in the paint, just dominating down there. They're just getting whatever shot they want in close.
Taking a look at Philadelphia. Oubre is at the 2 with George playing the 3. Andre Drummond is out there with Trendon Watford. And it's Grimes in at the 1. Now here's Tatum. His last outing, he had 24 points. And finished off by Tatum.
Expect exploding off the floor. Give Tatum room, and he will show off his athleticism at your expense.
You know, Grant, for all his competitive nature, Tatum has a pretty calm demeanor. You appreciate that?
Yes, indeed. As a team leader, a father, a role model, and a professional, you can't ask for much better than Jason Tatum. He is the real deal.
Now here's Tatum. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Pass to Grimes. Shot clock at 5. Let's go with a 3. Philadelphia with another miss. Celtics trail by 11. And here's Pritchard. And Watford pulls it down.
Ooh, old school right there. No easy buckets.
Oubre passes to Drummond. Back to Oubre. Philadelphia moving it around. Now here's Grimes, defended by Pritchard. Grimes' shot is off. The Celtics have gone 2 of 4 here in the second quarter. Vucevic, a screen on George. There's Tatum with the 3. Drummond grabs the miss.
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
Up top, George. Here's Drummond. Another miss. They desperately need a bucket. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Jason Tatum talked about his development since coming into the league, and he said earlier, I was playing the game just to play the game instead of thinking it. It's tough when you're younger. You just want everything to happen so fast, but it doesn't work like that. Brian, back to you.
He's come a long way. All right, Allie, thank you. In a lot of ways, Paul George has been the prototype of the modern swingman, Grant.
Yeah, 6'8", and with his versatile skill set, plug and play on any team. But health has been a challenge as of late. Now in his mid-30s, can he maintain that elite level?
So Nick Nurse has decided to call timeout here. Coach taking this moment to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. Jaylen Brown, he's checked in for Boston. Edgecombe, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey comes in for Grimes. That's good from George. And when you're trying to slow down a great scorer, there are those shots you've just got to live with, Stan.
Well, look, B.A., you can't take away everything, particularly from the great players. I think when you're game planning, what you have to decide is just that. What can you live with and what do you want to take away? And you try to just make those great players a little bit less efficient. You're not going to shut them down, but maybe you can make them a little bit less efficient.
Now here's Pritchard. No made baskets yet. Right side Tatum. It's deflected.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
And another miss by Philadelphia.
Well, you can't question his confidence from out there, but it's not falling. Maybe time for a different approach.
Here's Vucevic. And here's Brown for 3. The rebound by Maxey. Maxey's got 4 rebounds now. Crafty move. Brown with some nice D.
Well, clearly it hasn't been his best game offensively, but collectively, they've still found a way to get the lead.
Ooh, Brown inside. Hey, he's more than just a shooter.
Look, Brown's a great athlete. I love to see him work inside.
Looking to end this cold spell. And Maxey with the lay-in. Maxey's gotten his 3rd basket of the night.
And this is what you want to do when you've got a big lead. You must stay aggressive.
Yeah, they're being absolutely relentless, building this lead in every way possible.
Here's Edgecombe. No points yet. Out left to the wing. For three, George. And it's cleared by Vucevic.
Well, so far, he hasn't had the same luck from deep in this quarter.
Pass to Shireman. Left side, Brown. Oh, he got him with a pump fake, but he couldn't finish. Now George. Philadelphia moving it around. For three, Maxey. Jaylen Brown with a rebound.
Yeah, really unlike him to have this kind of game from three.
Pritchard surviving the D. For three. It's rebounded by George.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
Yeah, they might want to draw something up here to get him something at the rim or get him to the free throw line. Sometimes that's all it takes to snap a cold streak.
Something's off about him this quarter.
Yeah, and sometimes guys just start pressing. The best thing for him is to just slow it down and concentrate on solid shot selection.
I mean, he had the right idea, but his timing was just a little off, and it resulted in a goaltend.
Derek White's checked in for Shireman. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Embiid's checked in. Here's Maxey. 7 points in the game. Pass to Edgecombe. Watford outside. Now here's Maxey. Watford outside. From downtown. Boston pulls it in. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds now. Here's White. Off the mark. Had a chance there to trim it to single digits. Pass to Maxey. Pritchard with a steal. They've been having major problems offensively.
Definitely in a bit of a dry spell.
All right, guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for Boston?
Well, so far they've done a great job of reading the offense and repeatedly putting themselves in the right place to interrupt the play and force turnovers.
They've also done a good job defensively so far tonight, just making it tough all around on shooters, and it shows in their block numbers. He's really finding his rhythm here. I mean, smart move to keep feeding him the ball.
Yeah, when you have a guy playing like he has been recently, he's got to be the first option on every possession.
And they just continue to dominate the boards.
Watford outside. George finds Maxey. 5 on the clock. Shoots over Brown. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to shoot his way out of this one or not.
Outside White. Three-pointer. Brown, no good.
Well, for him, this has been a quarter to forget. He is not helping them close the gap.
And George gets it to go on the assist by Embiid. And it's 13 points for Paul George. And so Brown will bring it up for Boston. 11-point game. Back to White. The three. And he missed again. Now 1 of 5. Philadelphia shooting 46%, a decent average so far.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
Tatum against George. Outside Tatum. Pass to Brown. There's the three. Rebound by Philadelphia. Embiid's got rebound number 8 here already in the game. Now here's Watford, hounded by Tatum. Down low. Kicks it to George. Jacks up a 3. It's hauled in by White.
He's cold from distance here in the second quarter. May want to try a different approach moving forward.
Yeah, just powerful stuff from Vucevic.
1:41 left to play in the first half of basketball. So Nick Nurse has decided to call timeout here. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan.
And we'd all love to hear what goes on in those huddles, but we just get the snapshots.
Well, as a coach, you want to cover just 1 or 2 major points. That way guys can absorb it and go out and execute.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Kadis checked in for Nikola Vucevic. Garza comes in for Jason Tatum. And it's Hauser in for Pritchard. 1:37 left in the first half. Philadelphia moving it around. Screen by Embiid. For three, Maxey knocks it down from distance. Maxey's got 10 points in the game.
And we've begun to see their three-point shooting slip a little this quarter.
Brown passes to White. Can't hit that one. Embiid with the nice defensive effort. George with it, guarded by Hauser. Pass to Barlow. Back to George. Screen by Embiid. George, no good. Celtics trail by 12. It's Brown on the wing. 6 points for him. Here's Garza. No good with the triple. And for the 76ers, they're shooting around 44%. Not bad. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Outside Maxey. The three ball. Queta pulls it in. Queta's got 5 rebounds in the game. Hauser passes to White. It's Brown on the wing. 1 second left. Oh, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And so it's Philadelphia going into the break up 12. They're communicating. Thanks very much, Allie. And folks, we'll be right back to start the second half of this game.
Welcome, everybody. Let's get right to it. It's been nothing short of a tremendous challenge for the Boston Celtics.
To put it simply, they're getting decimated on the boards.
Well, I wouldn't call decimated simple because I can't spell it. But what about whooped or punked?
Okay, a semantic takedown by the big fella. And guys, let's take a moment to recognize the top performer for each squad thus far.
Their teams have leaned on them, and they've been rock solid. Actually, more than that, they've been the catalyst.
Leading by example. We're seeing it firsthand. And that's it for halftime. Thank you for joining us. We send you back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. What else can you say? Joel Embiid, an impressive effort here today.
And he was a beast on the offensive glass in that first half. How can they slow him down?
Yeah, look, even when you put a body on him, he finds ways to extend possessions.
Celtics trail by 12. Tatum at the 4 with Queta in at the 5. White and Brown team up as the backcourt. And it's Hauser in at the 3. That's the Boston 5. Here's Queta, and here's Brown for 3. Sends it home from three-point land. Brown's got 9.
Well, when you're as polished and practiced a shooter as Brown, there's no reason to hesitate.
White against Maxey. Rebounded by the Celtics.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
And they keep on figuring out ways to force the rock inside and convert.
Pass to Edgecombe. George in the post, defended by Hauser. Celtics trail by 7. It's Brown on the wing. White on the wing. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Brown. Paul George pulls it in. George has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Maxey finds George. Here's Edgecombe. Back to George. Launches it. Philadelphia with another miss.
Coming out stone cold here. Sometimes the break will do that to you.
White. Queta gets the bucket. Queta's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
They've got the offense clicking. 3 for 4 to start the half and looking confident.
Maxey attacking. Pass to George. Maxey against White. To end the cold spell. Good work defensively by White.
Bad offense to begin the second half. 4 misses right off the bat.
Oh, Tatum taking flight.
They've closed the gap over the last few possessions, but can they push through and grab the lead?
Well, with all the momentum they've built up, I don't see this run stopping anytime soon.
For 3, George. Rebound Boston. Tatum's got 5 rebounds tonight.
Scoreless in their first 5 attempts since halftime. It's getting ugly.
Barlow passes to Maxey. Here's Barlow. To the middle. Here's the steal. Left side White for the tie. Philadelphia grabs the miss. George has got 8 rebounds in the game. Here's Barlow, hounded by Tatum, and out of bounds. Boston will have it. All right, let's look back on last season for a moment. Here were your scoring leaders. 5th, Jason Tatum.
This is a guy who never took a night off. You look at his numbers and you know that he put in a tremendous effort every single game.
Second half here, and we're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Pass to Brown. They double team Brown. Shot clock at 6. Nice ball movement by Boston. Boston again missing.
Wow, his shooting woes continue, and it's weighing down this offense.
Grant, the thing about Jaylen Brown, he doesn't need a lot of space to get his shot off.
You know, B.A., he has a quick release and rises high on his jumper. Has a great up fake and can stop on a dime. Usually all the space he needs to find his shot.
Here's Barlow. He's got 5. To the wing on the left. The 3 from Edgecombe. That shot off. Boston on offense. 9 points in a row. A good run going. From 7. Oh, look at Tatum going to work inside.
You know, I think this guy just loves the game of basketball. The preparation, the interaction with his teammates. He has fun out there on the floor.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call timeout here. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. George feels it out a bit. All right, a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last few months for Quentin Grimes.
He's been on a tear offensively these past few months, and you know how much they love the extra points he provides. He's been shouldering a bigger load recently, and I think he's just getting started.
And he knocks down the first one.
And you got to give Paul George credit for his mental toughness. There's always lots of chatter out there, but he tunes it out and just focuses on his game.
And that's good as he hits both shots. And here are the Celtics. Big run right now for him, 11-2. On the wing, Tatum. Ooh, rugged finish from Tatum.
Boy, absolutely no rim protection, leading to a lot of easy buckets here.
Outside Maxey. Embiid from outside. Queta pulls it in. Boston's gone 1 of 4 here in the third from range. Tatum passes to Queta, and that one is stuffed right through.
There are no easy comebacks, but they really had to dig deep for this one.
Yeah, there is no quit in this team. Making up for that slow start with great composure and determination.
Here's Barlow. 5 points in the game. To the left side wing. Pass to Maxey. 6 on the shot clock. Looking to get it going. No good off the back of the rim. For Boston, they've gotten 7 of 12 shots to drop in the third. White for 3. He can't get that one to fall.
You kind of wonder where his head's at. The shot selection hasn't been there, and of course that one was just crazy.
George passes to Embiid. Outside Maxey. Here's Barlow. Blocked! White looking it over. To the inside. Queta. Powered down after the assist led him to the lane. And he's now got the double-double.
Well, that's what White's out there to do. Share the ball and make everybody better.
For three, George. Boston pulls it in.
Since hitting 2 triples in the first half, he's been non-existent from out there.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Yeah. Well, the Celtics have a great 1-2 punch with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Tatum said, JB always starts the game really aggressive. I'm a naturally laid-back guy. I kind of see things out first, and then I can essentially take over when I need to. We have found that balance. Brian, back to you.
A dangerous duo. All right, Allie, appreciate the report. Here's White. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. That one is off. Some solid defense from Maxey.
You gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
George for three. Queta pulls it in.
The way he's struggling this quarter, he's only adding to their troubles. They need his offense to come around.
Back to Tatum. It's picked off. 76ers trail by 3. They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
Embiid, a screen on Tatum. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Late clock, the Sixers need to put one up here. Hauser passes to White, and here's Tatum. Beyond the arc. Knocked loose, and he gets it back. Back to White. Tatum with a screen. 6 to shoot. Hauser outside. Takes a 3. The rebound by Maxey. Maxey's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Shoots over White, and it's Maxey missing. And it's the Celtics ball. They're on a 19-4 run. Outside White. Shoots over Maxey. Again, the miss by Boston.
And just unable to get anything going tonight. I mean, his teammates have really bailed him out.
Pass to Embiid. The 3 from Edgecombe. Queta pulls it in. Queta's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Oh, wasted no time on that one. Tatum's got 21 points in the game.
Well, Tatum is rightfully as confident as they come from deep. He saw that look and didn't waste it.
Maxey passes to Embiid. Back to Maxey. The 3 is up. Good work defensively by White.
He remains scoreless on the quarter, unable to help them narrow the gap.
Outside, Brown. Here's Queta. Played it in with a nice touch off the window. And now an 8-point Boston lead.
Savvy. Brown does what he can to help the team win, and he's upgraded his passing.
Pass to Barlow. Now here's George. The 3 from Edgecombe. Sinks it from distance. Edgecombe's got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, the defense gave that away. He's a skilled shooter who you have to contest at the arc.
Back to Tatum. And Tatum going in. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting.
Strong take by Tatum. Just daring the defense to foul him.
Boston shooting their 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight. And he drops the first.
Well, look, what makes Tatum special is he helps you in all 3 phases of the game. Offense, defense, and on the glass.
Looking at who's out there now for Philadelphia. Drummond's checked in for Embiid. Watford comes in for Barlow, and it's Grimes in for Maxey. And so Tatum nails both of them.
Well, it's so impressive how Jason Tatum has just continued to strengthen his game. He's a star who isn't easily satisfied by his own play and always wants to do more.
They're not messing around. 5 of their last 6 buckets have come from the interior.
George passes to Drummond.
You'd like to let the clock run and take the final shot.
Yeah, unless it's a gimme, there's no reason to put up an early shot here.
An aggressive move to a strong finish.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points before that defense is fully set.
The Sixers again can't hit. And so it's Jason Tatum making highlights for the Boston Celtics. And that quarter was all about him, leading the comeback charge. Now they're up in this one. Back after this. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today coming from an unlikely position. It's the big fella with the sweetest pass of the day.
Yeah, it's pretty to watch. It's great to have so many big men in the NBA who can dish it like this.
Well, there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. And the 76ers, looking at who they've got. Maxey and Edgecombe man the backcourt. Quentin Grimes out there with Kelly Oubre. And it's Drummond in at the 5, down low. Here's Tatum, following that last three-pointer by Philadelphia. It's stolen by Drummond. Here's Edgecombe. Drummond up top. Nice D from Vucevic. Celtics lead by 8. Pritchard with it. On the wing, Tatum. Pass to Vucevic. Clock at 6. No good from outside. The 76ers shooting at about 34% here in this game. Pritchard against Maxey. From deep three-point land. Boston pulls it in. They've led by as many as 11. And here's Vucevic. Drummond defending. Vucevic, a screen on Maxey. Pritchard against Maxey. Steps back. Lets it fly. Pritchard, no good.
Clean look from mid-range. Coach will probably want to run that play again.
And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth now. Philadelphia moving it around. Looking to get back on track. Boston pulls it in. Tatum's got 8 rebounds in the game. Pass to Shireman to end the drought. That falls. Nice feed that time from Tatum. Tatum's got 7 assists in the game.
And their field goal percentage is finally creeping up after a tough first half. They're really trying to hold on tight to this lead.
Now here's Maxey. The 3 from Edgecombe. Philadelphia with another miss. It's stolen by Drummond.
Well, that's about as high percentage of look as Drummond's going to get. Nice job inside.
And Joe Mazzulla calls timeout here. Coach clearly has something he wants to say to his team right now. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
During that last break, I heard Joe Mazzulla as he talked with the team. He encouraged them to keep on the pressure, saying, you guys are forcing a lot of turnovers, and it's because you're communicating and working together as a unit. Keep it up. Defense is clearly a priority.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. Pritchard, the pass to Tatum. Fires from deep. Rebound by Philadelphia. Drummond's got 5 rebounds tonight. The steal. Now the Celtics on the move. Tatum passes to Pritchard. It's Brown on the wing. Now Tatum. He's covered by Oubre. Fast break. Here comes Philadelphia. They get the rebound. The shot by Drummond. No good. And so it's Tatum who brings up the ball for the Boston Celtics. They've only given up 5 points here in the fourth. And it's in there.
And maybe they made some adjustments at the half. I mean, they're finally executing offensively.
Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them.
Here's Edgecombe. Shot clock at 6. Drummond, the screen on Brown. The three from Edgecombe. Up again. Controls the rebound and the putback.
And with great length and explosiveness, Drummond's ability to clean up the glass is second to none.
On the wing, Tatum. It's stolen by Oubre. Here's Maxey. Boston pulls it in.
He's trying to find his shot, but at some point you have to start making these.
Pritchard, the pass to Tatum. Three-pointer, no good. 76ers trail by 9. Oubre inside. Inside. Here's Drummond. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. There are usually 1 or 2 mid-season coaching changes in the NBA every year. Can those energize the team, Grant?
You know, B.A., we've seen it give teams a boost in the past, but only on occasion. Usually it's a last-ditch effort in a doomed season or simply just turning the page.
And that one misses.
Well, he's one of the best rebounders we've ever seen. Drummond controls the defensive glass, and at the other end, he creates second-chance opportunities.
Derek White's checked in for Shireman. Philadelphia also making some changes. Embiid, he's checked in for Oubre. Barlow comes in for Grimes. And it's Paul George in for Maxey. And the second free throw is good. Celtics lead by 8. Pritchard, the pass to Garza. And here's Brown. Here's White. Ooh, nice D from George.
Well, sometimes it's just not your night. But despite his struggles, they're ahead in the game.
Pass to Embiid. Oh, putting in the work. Embiid finishes inside.
We've seen that more than once today. An effortless basket inside.
Outside Pritchard. Here's Garza. Tatum from long range. Paul George pulls it in. George has got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. Barlow passes to Embiid. Oh, they find the hot hand. You can count it. He's 10 for 14 now.
I love the confidence Embiid plays with, especially this close to the rim.
With the floater, Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. To the middle. Here's Embiid. Tatum pulls it in. Celtics lead by 4. Pass to White. Back to Tatum. Outside White. Just 4 to shoot. And the shot is good on the assist by Tatum. And the Celtics lead by 7.
Look, shooting off the catch is something White's become really good at.
Now Embiid. Pass to Barlow. Here's Embiid. From outside the arc. Embiid missing again. Boston has gone 2 of 6 so far in the fourth. All right, let's head to the sidelines. We've got some news on Nikola Vucevic. Allie, take it away.
I had a moment to catch up with Boston's head athletic trainer. He let me know that it's a strained hip, which causes plenty of soreness and shooting pain in that area. Normally, this is an injury that would take a while to recover from, but they're saying he may be able to play on it. We'll be monitoring the situation and keep you updated.
Thanks, Allie. Appreciate the update.
Yeah, we put so much effort into injury prevention in the NBA, but injuries are still going to happen. That's just the unfortunate part of the game.
Tatum can't hit.
Yeah, and he seems to have lost his rhythm all of a sudden. This has not been his quarter.
George passes to Embiid. Here's Edgecombe. This one for three. Nice D from Brown. Tatum, a screen on George. Here's White. Over to the left wing. Garza. The three-pointer off the mark.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Pass to Barlow. The three from Edgecombe. Boston with a rebound. Tatum's got 11 rebounds in the game. From outside, off the mark.
At this point, I'm not sure if it's the play calling or the player himself.
Here's Barlow. Here's Embiid, defended by Brown. Oh, he misses the layup. Peyton Pritchard. Yes, sir, with the three. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Boston.
Well, they've shown just outstanding effort defensively, and it's resulted in several forced turnovers.
Well, another thing to look at is their impressive block numbers. They have not been giving shooters an easy time tonight, knocking away lots of shots.
And so it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. He was quite emphatic, demanding the timeout, clearly wanting to address strategy with his team. And Boston with some changes. Queta comes in for Garza, and it's Hauser in for Pritchard. The 76ers also with a sub. Maxey, he's checked in for Drummond. Here's Edgecombe. So far, Grant, we've seen some encouraging intangibles from VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, you know, he reminds me of Victor Oladipo or even a Dwayne Wade physically. Just an explosive athlete. And I love the way he uses that strength and quickness at the defensive end of the floor.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
They're finding a rhythm from the line as they try to cut into this deficit.
Both shots good from the strike.
And when you watch VJ Edgecombe play, the word explosive comes to mind. A tremendous athlete with an exciting future.
Here's a pass to Tatum. It's Brown on the wing. Maxey covering. Oh, okay. We see you, Jalen. Strong in traffic.
Yeah, and there's his patience paying off. Brown waited until the right moment to go on the offensive.
Here's Embiid. Banks it home. Big shot.
He's been shooting with great consistency tonight. Love to see that confident play on offense.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. He's decided it's time to clarify the situation, leaving little room for error. Boston making a switch here. Pritchard's checked in. Here's Pritchard. Grant, wouldn't be a bad idea here to slow it down.
Yeah, coach is definitely looking for patience and execution.
Embiid with a steal. Maxey attacking. George! Oh, missed on the tray. Boston leading by 10. Tatum outside. Oh, ripped away. Now it's Maxey. We've got 1:23 left in the fourth. Can't get the three. And they've been moving the ball really well tonight.
Good things come to those who take good shots.
Here's a pass to Tatum. White outside. Tight D, making that one difficult.
Both sides are simply waiting for the clock to make it official. This is going to end up in the books as a nice win for the Celtics.
Check out their assist numbers.
They didn't get stuck in isolation. They got the ball to the guys who had the best matchups.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year. And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Jason Tatum.
So impressed with his performance today. He was confident, he was composed, and the defense just didn't know how to adjust.
It's good! And they've been careless with the ball tonight.
Yeah, it's a lack of focus and a lack of discipline. They're better than this.
Outside Pritchard. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. A competitive game. You have to feel like this crowd gave him a little extra edge.
Yeah, they really fed off the energy. You saw their activity level go up.
All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. And that about wraps it up.
Well, no doubt these players, GA, are eager to get this season going.
Listen, there's definitely some nerves, but it's mainly excitement. This is their first chance to showcase all the hard work they put in during the offseason.
Look at the 76ers starting group. In the backcourt, we'll see Maxey and Edgecombe. Then it's Joel Embiid. Then it's George. And it's Barlow in at the first one. And Derek White picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
You got to be in control when you go to the rack, and he was not. You can't just run guys over.
Now the 76ers with it. Maxey with it. Makes it off the glass. Maxey's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the 76ers. And now Allie LaForce has something for us from the sideline.
I caught up with Coach Joe Mazzulla. I wondered what Coach has in store for PG tonight. Hopefully a low-scoring game, Coach joked, going on to say, we'll throw some aggressive defenses his way, but we also have to play him well when he's off the ball. It's a tricky assignment, so Coach is aware this is going to be a challenge for his team. Kevin?
Thank you, Allie. Now, here's George. In the game against Boston, very impressive. And it's sent back by White.
Slow start, 1 of 4 to begin this game.
Edgecombe with it, picked up by Brown. Maxey, no good.
Just haven't found their offensive footing yet, only managing to sink 1 of their first 5 shots.
Tatum wide open, he fires one. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
0 for 4 to start things off. Got a bit of a pillow fight brewing here, but they're going to get it going.
Good ball movement here by the 76ers. To the paint, here's Embiid. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
A gifted interior scorer. When Embiid establishes himself down there, he is almost automatic.
Now, Tatum. His last outing, he had 24 points. 6 to shoot. Count that one.
Well, it took them 5 tries, but they showed they can make a basket, I guess.
So for the 76ers, their last game, a win against the Celtics in Boston. Here's George, and that one drops for him.
Sweet touch inside the paint. George is so comfortable at that range.
So Richard, from title contender to in the lottery, what went wrong for the Sixers last year?
Well, we could start at the top. Joel Embiid's health. He only played in 19 games. Then their young superstar Tyrese Maxey, he missed 30 games. And Paul George, he hyperextended his knee in the preseason and never looked comfortable all year. It was a nightmare year in Philly.
Embiid, no good.
Gotta applaud the defensive effort. It's not easy to stop him getting in the lane like that.
And now Philadelphia on the break. Here's George, and he lays it straight in. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the 76ers.
From the very start of this game, they have been giving the ball handlers trouble, using good pressure to force turnovers and get steals.
And another thing, guys, they've been very active tonight, frequently creating scoring opportunities off turnovers.
And it's White missing. The 76ers leading by 6. Here's Barlow. That one goes in.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Back to White. Lets the 3 fly. The kick out to Brown. Outside, White. In the corner, Tatum with it. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Now here's Embiid. Defense is right there, and it's blocked.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
White, wide open. He fires. The shot's good. Brown making the play. White's got 5.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
It's good. Nice touch there from Maxey.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
And so the timeout by Joe Mazzulla here. He made the decision to huddle up with his guys and talk about strategy. The 76ers making a switch here. Grimes is checked in. With a break in the action, we go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that excelled at slowing the pace down a campaign ago. The Celtics second.
I mean, they held opponents to so few points that it allowed them to win games even when their offense wasn't clicking.
White dishes to Tatum. Outside, White. Inside, lock at 6. Here's Grimes. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. And here's Brown. Still yet to score. Now in the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
That's a guy you want taking shots, a quality offensive player.
And it's good, 2 points.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Celtics trail by 8. Now here's Tatum. Brown outside. Three-pointer. The kick out to Tatum. Misses the 3.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Maxey with it. He's picked up by White. Embiid with a screen on Brown. And taken away by Brown. And Tatum with a clear path to the hoop. Pass to Hauser. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. And so it's Maxey with it. He brings it up for Philadelphia. 6-point game. Barlow passes to George. Outside, Maxey. Just 5 on the clock. Beyond the arc. The rebound by Queta. Queta's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Brown from down in the low post. It goes. And now just a 4-point 76ers lead. Pass to Embiid. Back to Maxey. Embiid with a screen on White. Maxey kicks to Embiid. And they double up Embiid. Here's Grimes. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
And defensively, man, the Celtics sure switch a lot.
Yeah, that strategy is the norm in the NBA. They have versatile defenders that do it, though, and it's still a big part of how they stifle their opponent's three-point shooting.
Oubre is checked in for George. That's good from Grimes. The Celtics have been a title contender for years now. So, RJ, what do you attribute that to?
Well, their talent level has been off the charts. But something else you can point to is their defense. The Celtics have been an elite defensive team for over a decade.
And so the timeout by Joe Mazzulla here. He's going to make some adjustments to the game plan.
The numbers now for Nikola Vucevic, coming off a terrific season. Averaged about 18 points a game last season. 10 rebounds and 3 assists. And to have a player who can fill it up like him coming in off the bench, what an asset.
He's crucial to the success of their second unit because he can keep that offense rolling.
Here's Garza. Pass to Pritchard. No good from outside. The 76ers leading by 7. Maxey on the wing. Good work there as it goes.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Brown feeling it out a bit. And it's Vucevic missing. Philadelphia's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Oubre outside. Maxey on the wing. He's covered by Pritchard. And that one's good, Maxey. And it's an 11-point 76ers lead.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up. A little more sense of urgency.
Pass to Pritchard. They set the pick. And another miss by Boston. Philadelphia shooting 56% in this first quarter. An outstanding start for this offense. Offensive rebound. Barlow's shot is good.
Really seizing the momentum of this game, but doing it with a methodical approach.
Yeah, they haven't appeared in a rush at all. They are just playing to their strengths and building this lead out well.
The 76ers leading by 13. Grimes finds Embiid. The shot from the low post is good. Embiid's got his third basket of the night.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
They came out swinging, really setting the tone on offense, and the opposition has not been able to respond.
Grimes' shot is good. There's 1:38 left to play here in the first. Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Thanks. Jaylen Brown is rounding out his game in all facets. He said, I've definitely worked on my playmaking, just being able to see the floor, making great reads, creating for my teammates, and putting pressure on the defense. Back to you.
Allie LaForce with the report. Hey, Allie, thanks. So it's the Celtics now. After the missed 3 from Tyrese Maxey.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
Grimes with it. He's covered by Brown. Grimes passes to Embiid. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. That's now 8 points for Joel Embiid.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Celtics trail by 15. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Brown. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Embiid sets the pick for Maxey. Down low. It's stolen by Vucevic. Pass to Garza. Brown outside. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. A big-time effort for Joel Embiid, providing a lot of energy for the 76ers. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. Right back after this break. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a comfortable margin here for the 76ers guys.
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Making it as difficult as possible for the offense to find clean looks. Great stuff.
So to begin the second quarter for the Philadelphia 76ers, running the wings, it's Oubre and George. Andre Drummond is out there with Trendon Watford. And it's Grimes in at the point guard position. Here's Pritchard after the made shot from Andre Drummond. Oubre outside. Outside, George. Drummond sets the screen for George. Fires the 3. They get the rebound. Oubre for 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Oubre's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Out to Gonzalez from deep. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
A bit of pride at stake, trying to get that last. Last 3 ball back, but couldn't get it to fall. Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Pritchard from outside. Rebound Andre Drummond. And so it's Oubre with it. He brings it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Pritchard with the ball. He's guarded by Grimes. Shot to stop the run. Boston again missing. The 76ers have gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Oubre outside. Drummond a screen. A putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And you really can't say that it's like they've been lights out here on this run, but they are just getting a lot of second chance opportunities.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Edgecombe, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. 5th on the list, Jason Tatum.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long.
Now here's Tatum. Nothing on the board. Here's Pritchard. Shot clock at 5. Boston needs to get off a shot. Here's Gonzalez. Boston again missing.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
There's a good screen. Pass to George from the arc. Not that time. It's off. He's 3 for 7. The Celtics have gone 0 of 4 in the second quarter. Obviously, that needs to change. So there's no way around it, RJ. Last season was a disappointing one for Paul George.
Yes, it was marked by injuries and underperformance. His numbers took a big dip. The move from LA to Philly was not as easy for PG.
And with that one, he halts an 11-0 run by Philadelphia.
George against Gonzalez. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
Let me tell you, over the years, George has added a lot of strength. Allows him to absorb the contact in there.
Pritchard feeling it out a bit. Vucevic setting the pick for Tatum. Off target from outside.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
Yeah, right now, he's just in his own head. Not much you can do to try and push through it.
And so it's Boston with it. The 76ers getting the bucket. A shot by Pritchard, no good.
And he continues to cast away, but the results just haven't been there tonight.
Pass to Edgecombe. Drummond with a screen on Pritchard. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. And pushing it up, here's Boston.
Outstanding D from Tatum. It led to the break.
Here's Philadelphia. They're on a 15-4 run right now. And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. And the plan going into last season for the Sixers, Richard, was win now around their veterans. But now they have some great younger talent, too.
And with the health of Embiid and Paul George, a change to the younger players is not a bad idea, but it's still a tough decision.
Joel Embiid, he's checked in for the 76ers. Maxey comes in for Quentin Grimes.
He may not have that traditional power forward build, but his bounce, well, that kind of levels the playing field.
Outside Tatum. Good, nice job down low. Tatum's got his first basket of the night.
Those improved handles of Tatum, that's a big part of his growth.
Bounce pass Maxey. The three from George. Buries it from three-point range.
And he's made his mark on offense especially. They got to be thankful he's on their squad.
The Celtics have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. White the pass to Tatum. Buries the long-range jumper. Tatum's got 5 points in the quarter.
Taking matters into his own hands, Tatum gets those 3 points back in a hurry.
Watford with it. Embiid with a screen on Tatum. Here's Watford. The rebound by Jason Tatum. Well, it was the Boston Celtics, their last game, a loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. And it's Vucevic missing.
You often expect him to convert these types of shots, but the D must have made their presence felt to prevent that one.
There's the lob to Brown. Edgecombe with the steal. Poked away.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
Yet another thing that makes Brown so difficult to guard, he is exceptional off the dribble.
And here's George, following Jaylen Brown's three. Embiid with a screen on Tatum. George passes to Embiid. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got his 3rd assist on the night.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Always plays hard until the final whistle, no matter what the situation is.
Now Embiid after the missed 3 from Derek White. George passes to Watford. Back to George. 6 on the shot clock. Here's the 3. It's in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
Oh, when PG catches fire, few things can put him out. We've seen him go off tonight.
Pass to Brown. Outside Tatum. Puts up a 3. He scores with that shot. Now he's 3 of 8.
After failing to knock down anything from deep in the first quarter, he's got 2 to go here in the second.
And the 76ers call time here. And guys, hold on now. I'm getting word we have Shams Charania calling in. Shams, what do you have for us?
Well, for all the anticipation around NBA expansion, we might have to pump the brakes. I'm told a number of team owners are a bit hesitant to further carve up the revenue from this new national broadcasting deal, so the timeline may take longer than some fans had hoped.
They'll get there for sure. All right, Shams, we thank you very much for that report. Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Kate is checked in, and Sam Hauser subbed in for Jason Tatum. Kata, the pass to Brown. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yes, that goes in. Embiid's got 12.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
When it ain't broke, leave it alone. Until someone stops him, just let him roll.
Now here's Brown. 9 points in the game so far. Nailed from three-point land.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
Oubre sets the screen for Maxey. Oubre finds Walker. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Embiid sets the pick for Edgecombe. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Here's Brown. Pass to Kata. It's good, he scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
And that's almost automatic anytime he can get the ball in that position.
Now here's Embiid. He's got 12. Brown right side. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12.
A very athletic play by Brown, getting the ball inside and working his way to a high percentage shot.
Oubre sets the screen for Walker. Pritchard against Maxey for 3. And Peyton Pritchard with the 3. Pritchard's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Edgecombe with it, wide on him. Maxey deciding where to go with it. It's good. Embiid's got 14 points for the game. Oh boy, looks like he was injured there.
And boy, this really doesn't look good. Just the way it happened.
And you know it's serious if he's heading to the locker room. It takes a lot to get him out of any game.
Jason Tatum, he's checked in for the Celtics. And it's White, top of the key. Tatum against Embiid. Here's Brown. Oubre pulls it in.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Maxey, no good. And here they come. And there's Embiid. That's good on the assist by Maxey. 16 points for Joel Embiid. And so it's Philadelphia in very good shape with a 23-point lead at the end of the quarter. From the field, Allie, thank you for that interview. And now we're at halftime. And we'll be back to bring you more basketball after this.
Thanks for stopping by, y'all. First up on the show tonight, a quick look ahead of some upcoming games on the docket.
Looking at Philadelphia, I've hung with these guys in the offseason. They're better than people think, but they've still got to prove it.
Yeah, high hopes for them and for their fans as well. And let's talk now about that first half. What a commanding start for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Anytime they sniff the paint, it's a bucket. And they found different ways to do it.
Yeah, that game plan gets the Shaq seal of approval. Get it inside and hit them hard.
And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan and the crew.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Joel Embiid has been sensational.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
The question now is, will the defense keep letting him punish them inside? Or did Coach have some new ideas for them?
The guard pair. It's White and Brown. Tatum out there with Vucevic. And it's Hauser in at the small forward position. And that's the group for Joe Mazzulla as we begin the second half. A chance here to get a quick injury report.
Thank you. I just talked with Boston's head athletic trainer. He said there's severe pain and swelling near the heel. Classic signs of a strained Achilles. An injury like this removes any hope of a return tonight, and it's a serious enough issue to make you miss more than a few games. Back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks for that.
Listen, the big thing is now we have more information on what's going on with him. Hopefully, there's no setbacks.
Kicks it out to Maxey. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
That is fantastic defense on one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Didn't give him an inch of room. And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
The 76ers leading by 21. Pass to Barlow. George with the screen on Tatum. Here's Barlow, guarded by Tatum. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession. Well, Greg, we know at his peak, Joel Embiid, one of the elite two-way centers to ever play in the NBA.
The former league MVP, but when you weigh close to 300 pounds and move like he did, not entirely surprising that his lower extremities took a toll.
Left side, Brown. Pass to White, 4 on the clock. Fires for 3. Some solid defense from Maxey.
And they have been cold coming out of the break, only getting one of their first 4 shots to drop this half. Got to pick it up.
Here's the screen. From deep, George got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
One of the league's best wing shooters. PG provides offense night in and night out.
And now let's send it over to our courtside reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. The Celtics understand that they'll be tested. Jaylen Brown said growth is a journey with ups and downs. You have to stay with it. You can't complain. Don't let it break your spirit. We've just got to keep building the right habits, keep being versatile, and keep learning from these experiences. Back to you, Kevin.
Always looking to get better. Thank you, Allie. Here's Barlow, and the layup is good. Barlow's got 6.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Yeah, they're going to do a much better job of putting a little bit of pressure on him on his way to the hoop.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
And now a look at Jason Tatum. Great showing for him last season. And he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league. Never shy about throwing his weight around in the paint.
And clearly one of the dominant scorers we have in this league. His top 5 ranking last year puts him right there in the ranks of the elite. Here's Hauser. Boston again missing. And here's Embiid. He'll bring it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Embiid the screen. Maxey, and again it's Philadelphia.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And guys, to go on a big run, get some breathing space, it has to be a great play on each end.
Tatum passes to Vucevic. And George.
Oh, my
Wow.
goodness. Man, what a move by PG with the hard finish.
And another look at that last play with the AT&T connected cam. Boston's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. The Celtics working the ball around now. Tatum looking around. It's White on the wing, trying to get something going. It's hauled in by George. George has got 4 rebounds in this game. Maxey kicks to George. Embiid inside. Hauser defending. Tatum finds Brown. Looking to get it going. Good as the jump shot falls. Brown's got 13.
And so far, Brown has been dialed in and is showing no signs of letting up.
Barlow passes to Embiid. Here's Edgecombe. That's good, and it's Embiid with the assist.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Outside, White. With the drive. Floats one up. Maxey with the block. To the inside. And stolen by Tatum. And stolen by Maxey. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Philadelphia.
Great heads-up defensive play tonight, creating offensive opportunities for themselves by forcing deflections.
Another place they've had the upper hand tonight is in transition. They've gotten a bunch of their points off the fast break.
Here's Edgecombe. He's covered by Brown. Here's Barlow. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Brown the pass to Vucevic. And the basket is good.
Not stopping Vucevic that time, powering through the defenders.
And you think about the style of Sixers head coach Nick Nurse. Greg, what stands out to you?
He just has a willingness to experiment and adapt. That's a real asset with some of the challenges this roster has faced. And a big part of why this front office brought him in.
And the 76ers call time here. And it's a completely new group here for Philadelphia. And a look here at the scoring trend over the last several months for Quentin Grimes.
And he's been on the upswing offensively these past few months. And you know how much they love getting all those extra points out of him. He's been carrying a much bigger load lately, and I think he'll just continue to get better.
Just 2 to shoot. The 76ers with another miss. Boston's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. Brown outside. Out left to the wing. And here's Tatum for 3. Rebound by the 76ers.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Grimes passes to Martin. Drummond dishes to Oubre. Pass to Grimes. Drummond a screen. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Grimes has got 9.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Yeah, as soon as these guys feel contact, they are just disappearing like they're not even there. You got to show some fire and keep defending.
Brown kicks to White. And it's off from three-point range.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Grimes passes to Watford. Martin for 3. No good that time. White with the defensive effort. Outside Tatum. Brown sets a screen for Tatum from past the arc. And that one, good. 15 points in the game.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Here's Martin. Still without a basket. To the middle. It's tipped. Shot clock at 6. Goes up on the wing. Back to Watford. Connects from three-point range.
And that's on the defense there. Gotta know the scouting report and understand that he loves his shot.
Pass to Vucevic. Back to Brown. Now here's White for the 3. Rebound by the 76ers. Oubre's got his 4th rebound in this one.
And if they want to mount a comeback here, they need him to get going. It's just that simple.
Drummond finds Oubre. Back to Drummond. Shoots over Hauser. And it's Drummond missing. And here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for the Boston Celtics. White setting the pick for Brown. Over Grimes. And it's Brown missing. For Philadelphia, they've gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime, shooting 8 of 15. White against Martin. Grimes passes to Oubre. That 3 off the mark. Boston shooting 31% here in the third. Offensively, they are looking bleak. Here's Watford, and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
You can't throw that weak stuff up around Tatum because he will put it right back in your face.
Martin against Tatum. Pass to Oubre. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Oubre's got 5.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
50 seconds left in the third quarter. Brown outside. Back to Tatum. Trying to end the drought. Oubre pulls it in. Oubre's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Watford, that's good. Watford's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, taking it right into the teeth of the defense, and it's a defense that's starting to look frustrated.
That's the kind of aggression you want to see when you've got a team on the ropes.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. To the inside. Here's Tatum. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Oh, guarding Tatum is just a major problem.
Boston shooting their first free throws of the evening.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throws.
That free throw, no good.
What strikes me about Jason Tatum is really his versatility. He's got any move for any situation that you throw at him. His moves have moves. His counters have counters. That is a man that can finish plays or make them.
He hits the second from the line.
One of the best players in the game today. Tatum's work ethic and hunger to win more championship is special.
Oubre for three. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's Philadelphia with a 34-point advantage heading into the break. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. And we've got more M2K Sports coming your way after this break. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
That's an unguardable pass, flat out. Give him credit for possessing that type of vision.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. On the court for Philadelphia to start the fourth, Andre Drummond is out there with Kelly Oubre. Then there's Trendon Watford. Then there's Quentin Grimes. And it's Edwards in at the 3 slot. Oubre against Tatum. Here's Shireman. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Tatum's got his 3rd assist on the night. Now Watford. Pass to Grimes. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
Didn't get a 3 in the first half, but now he's on the board with his first triple of the game.
The Celtics shooting about 35% from the floor. Not much falling for them. Pritchard passes to Gonzalez. Great D that time from Edwards.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Pass to Shireman. Here's Garza, defended by Drummond. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Not letting that one fly. Drummond using his height and wingspan to deny the shooter.
For Boston, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Inside, a good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
And that's how you lead a team, literally.
The 76ers shooting 56% in this game, really stringing quality possessions together offensively. Grimes drops in the tray.
No three-pointers for him in that first half, but the second half, different story.
Here's Pritchard, covered by Watford. Gonzalez passes to Tatum. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Garza gets the bucket.
Every year that Tatum is in the league, he just improves his passing.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Watford passes to Grimes. And here's Edwards from the arc. Rebounded by the Celtics. Tatum's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. There are some who will say, GA, there are too many threes being taken in today's NBA. What are your thoughts on that?
Hey, if we're cutting back on something, how about free throws? The three-point shootout is arguably the best part of All-Star Saturday, but nobody wants to watch a free throw contest.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good.
And he got a couple to fall from long distance in the first half, but still looking for that number 3.
There's the drive. Grimes finds Watford. And here's Edwards. Here's Grimes. Pulls up. Garza pulls it in.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
Oubre with the steal. Pass to Watford. It's Grimes on the wing. Offensive rebound. It's stolen by Pritchard. Now Tatum, covered by Oubre. Nice ball movement by Boston. Now Pritchard. 5 on the clock. Over Grimes. A shot by Pritchard, no good.
Not that time, but that's a shot that he's going to make more oftentimes than not.
Stolen by Tatum. Lets it go from deep. Second chance shot, and it's sent back by Drummond. Watford with it. And as we've seen, Greg, navigating this age of social media can be difficult for an NBA player.
Yeah, a momentary indiscretion can get broadcast to the whole world. So there's a need for caution that's probably higher than in decades past.
Oubre with it, now guarded by Tatum. Another miss by Philadelphia. Boston's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
A quality pass, setting up a quality shot. It's just textbook basketball.
In general, RJ, how would you describe Kelly Oubre's value to a franchise?
One shot. We know what Oubre provides a team. He's a versatile player who adds length. When he's aggressive on the offensive end, his slashing and movement can cause problems.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Bonus checked in, and Terry subbed in for Trendon Watford. And here's Brown. He'll bring it up for Boston. Pass to Hauser. Three-pointer. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Brown's got 6 assists in the game.
And as they're trailing in this game, they're trying to stay in it with the triple. They're shooting a lot more of them than they did in the first half.
On the wing, Brown. Terry covering. Brown, no good. Philadelphia's gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the fourth and been successful 3 times. Back to Grimes. Pass to Edwards. Launches a 3. Rebound Boston. Outside White. To the paint. Here's Garza.
And he might be small for a center, but boy, can he jump out of the building.
Terry dishes to Oubre. Oubre, a screen on White. Here's Grimes. Oubre passes to Grimes. Jacks up a 3. The shot, no good. Great D that time from Tatum. And White kicks to Brown. White setting the pick for Brown. From downtown, they grab their own miss.
He's not making much of an impact from deep. His sole three-pointer came in the first half.
Here's Grimes. He's covered by Brown. Driving in. The wide open look here for Terry. Drills the three-pointer. Terry's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Brown against Terry. Puts the move on. Brown, no good. Philadelphia's gone over and over to the three-point shot in the fourth quarter. 4 of 9. Pass to Oubre. Here's Edwards. It's Grimes on the wing, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Edwards.
I'm not sure what he was thinking. That's a weird pass.
The Celtics making a switch here. Vucevic is checked in. And here's White. Tatum down low. He's against Oubre. Tatum no good.
It's just been a frustrating day for him all the way around, and it's rubbed off now, I think, on the rest of the team.
It's stolen by Vucevic. Pass to White. And Philadelphia grabs the miss.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
Drummond with a screen on White. Down low, it's stolen by Vucevic. Brown the pass to Tatum. Great D that time from Edwards.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
Yeah, straight up, guys. Like, he's ice cold, like freezing. What's colder than cold? But you don't have to shoot it, my guy. It's okay to pass the ball.
Boston's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on three-point attempts here in the fourth. Here's White. Boston, no good that time either.
You know what? He's got to look to get other guys involved. The three-point stroke is off.
Drummond passes to Grimes. Driving the lane. Oubre outside. Off target with his three.
And the defense dodged one right there. Not the guy you want to leave open.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the 76ers.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And a lot of players tonight helped contribute to this performance, but in particular, a real good game it was for Joel Embiid.
Every time there was a big possession or a big play, he was a major contributor. Just a great all-around game.
There's 42 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Inside, and it's Drummond with the jam.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Oh, road wins. They're just so sweet. They're just so sweet. You know why? Because they are so hard to come by.
Here's White. The three-pointer is right on target.
Selfless player. Vucevic finding his man all alone.
And so the 76ers can now just hold on to the ball. Now Grimes. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. To come into an opponent's... Good stuff, Allie. Thanks. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our...
Tim, opening night, always a lot of fun for a broadcaster. But what's it like as a player?
Well, no matter how many years you have in the league, opening night creates more butterflies than any other night. You want to make that great first impression for sure, but you're also really excited that it starts to count.
And are you nervous right now?
Attack, Brian, attack.
Here are the five for Philadelphia. Maxey and Edgecombe man the backcourt. Then it's Joel Embiid. Then there's Paul George. And it's Barlow in at the 4. Now here's Maxey. And there's the rejection. Out of bounds. It'll be Celtics ball. And that shot was going nowhere thanks to that aggressive swat.
And that kind of rejection early on energizes your squad. The coaching staff just loves this kind of hustle.
And White has got the ball here for Boston. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
I caught up with the head coach for the Celtics. Coach knows that Joel Embiid is going to get his fair share of trips to the line, and he told me that's a part of his game, and he's great at it. If he can bait us into contact and still find a way to get a shot up, it's going to take a very disciplined approach from us tonight on Joel. We'll see if they're up for the task. B.A.?
And Allie, thank you for that.
3 attempts from the field with nothing to show for it, but they should settle in soon.
Outside Tatum. Four on the clock. Embiid with the nice defensive effort to the paint. Here's Barlow. Buries the easy one.
Setting an aggressive tone early, challenging the heart of that defense.
For Boston, they've gone 1 for 3 so far. Now here's Tatum. Using his post moves to get the 2 points.
You like the way Tatum can sliver around to get his shot.
Now here's George, defended by Hauser. And George with the jam.
He's showing us the handles a little bit right there. All the way to the rack.
And with the statement finish, too. Don't know how you stop that, man. Now here's Tatum. His last outing, he had 24 points. Brown draws the double. White for 3. And a great assist by Brown as that one goes in.
He's really become a better all-around player. Brown's passing continues to evolve. Nice find.
Outside Maxey. Pass to Embiid. It's George on the wing. Off target with the 3. Celtics lead by 3. Hauser outside. Here's Kata. On the wing, Tatum. Nice ball movement by Boston. White for 3. It's rebounded by Edgecombe. For Philadelphia, they've gone 2 of 6 to open up this game. And teams built to win now don't always have the young pieces that Philly does, Legs.
Yeah, BA, particularly in their backcourt. Nice drafting and great trades have given them an abundance of talent.
Embiid's shot is good.
Well, listen, if Embiid gets the ball that close to the rim, it is over. You have to deny position.
Brown passes to Hauser. That 3's off the mark.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
So they take the lead. Embiid's gotten his second bucket.
Attacking in the painted area. Clearly that was their game plan coming in.
Now here's Brown. Still no points. Fires for 3. Joel Embiid with the board. And so it's Embiid who brings up the ball for Philadelphia. For 3, George gets the 3 to fall.
Well, the numbers don't lie. Paul George has been one of the most accurate three-point shooters of his generation.
Right side Brown. Brown draws the double. Here's Kata. And it's off the back of the rim. No good. Philadelphia leading by 4. Outside Maxey. Pass to Barlow. Here's Edgecombe. From the arc. No good that time. For Boston, they've gone only 3 for 9 from the floor. Outside, Brown. To halt the run. Rebound by Philadelphia. Here's Edgecombe. Last game for him, he picked up 10. Pass to Embiid. The kick out to Maxey. Good. And the assist to Embiid.
Back-to-back threes, making their defense work on the perimeter a bit.
Celtics trail by 7. And so Joe Mazzulla decides to call a timeout. Coach probably just checking to make sure everybody's on the same page here. And Philadelphia making a change here. Grimes is checked in. And let's take this time to bring up the list of last season's elite shot blocking teams. 5th on the list, the Celtics.
And when you look at their block totals from last year, I really love how this team protected the rim.
White with it. Boy, he just disappeared against Philadelphia. They needed him. Tatum inside. Joel Embiid pulls it down.
Defense did just enough to force that miss. I really expected him to get 2 there.
That shot wide open.
I just love the ball movement.
Celtics trail by 10. Outside, Brown. Back to Tatum. Five to shoot to get back on track. To get it again. White. Some solid defense from Maxey. Philadelphia leading by 10. Back to Grimes. Three-pointer. Tatum pulls it in. And the Celtics shooting 23%. Not great so far. Hauser passes to Keita. Here's White. Philadelphia grabs the miss.
And even though he couldn't send the shot back at him, he certainly altered it.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that miss.
And we're joined now by Shams Charania. He's calling in with a story. Good to have you, Shams. What's going on?
Thanks. Well, Joel Embiid rarely wanted to share all of his cards, but coming off of what he called the most important offseason of his life, he said he cares about how he'll be remembered in the game of basketball, and he understands what remains to be done.
Chasing that ring. Shams, appreciate the report. Here's what Boston's going with right now. Nikola Vucevic is checked in for Keita. Garza comes in for Tatum. Shireman's checked in for Hauser. And it's Peyton Pritchard in for White. And you look around the league, 30 different organizations, each with their own cultures. What did you look for as a player, Greg?
Well, you know, B.A., winning always comes first. But after that, you're looking at resources and how they care for their players. That's where teams are trying to separate themselves these days. Building a big advantage early with a terrific all-around performance.
Well, it's just an outstanding effort thus far. They've done a great job at both ends.
And so Joe Mazzulla decides to call a timeout. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. Celtics trail by 13. Now Brown. His last outing, we saw him score 22. Boston needs to get off a shot here. Vucevic gets the bucket.
There's a reason Vucevic shoots a great percentage. So adept and skilled at scoring inside.
Pass to Embiid. Now Oubre. There's the triple. Barlow. Oh, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the 76ers lead by 13.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
So far, a great game plan and great execution, but we still have a long way to go.
Now here's Pritchard. He's scoreless. Pulls up. Gets a very good look and converts.
Well, that's a tough matchup because he's skilled and relentless.
Outside Grimes. Pass to Oubre. Outside Maxey. Shoots over Brown. Rebound Boston.
I love how they've attacked the boards here in the first quarter.
Down low. Oh, stolen by Embiid. Inside. Here's Barlow. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
Really taking charge of the game, largely with a detailed interior attack.
We always talk about getting high percentage shots, and they are teaching a master class in that right now.
Now here's Brown. Rebound by Philadelphia. Barlow's got 4 rebounds in the game.
This is not what they need from him this quarter. He is way off. He knew exactly where his man was going to be. Outstanding lead pass.
There's a screen. Pritchard against Maxey. Pass to Shireman. Now here's Pritchard. The 3 is up. The rebound by Embiid. Embiid's got his 6th rebound on the night. Screen by Embiid. 4-3. Drains the triple. Embiid's got 8 points.
They've really built this lead on the back of their perimeter game.
Yeah, when you string triples together, it adds up quickly.
Pass to Garza. Here's Shireman. Nice ball movement by Boston. Right side Pritchard. And again, unable to change momentum here. Lets it go from deep. Barlow misses. Celtics trail by 18. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
And so it's Embiid with it. He brings it up for Philadelphia. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. With a step back. And it's cleared by Vucevic.
He seems a little out of rhythm right now.
Pass to Brown. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. Kelly Oubre picks one up. This is his first trip to the free throw line tonight.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good. Brown. And both free throws good for Brown. The first quarter concludes, and a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Sixers ahead, up by 16. And quarter number 2 will get underway just after this short break. Great to have you with us. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the 76ers.
Well, in today's NBA, the three-point shot is so valuable. They realize this, and that's why they're continuing to drain as many as they can.
And they're also focusing on their break, looking for any chance they can to push the pace and get out in transition.
We've got Jason Tatum. He's out there with Nikola Vucevic, and it's Gonzalez in at the 3. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. Now here's Tatum. Pass to Gonzalez. And here's Pritchard. Tatum feeling it out a bit. From behind the arc. Rebound by Philadelphia.
And you have to think that they're leading this game because of how they've controlled the boards tonight.
Grimes, the pass to George. From the line. Can't connect from short range. Celtics trail by 18. Pass to Tatum. Banked it in off the glass.
And sometimes you forget how long Tatum is, and he's terrific at using this to his advantage inside.
Grimes, the pass to George. Tatum pulls it in. The Celtics have gone just 1 of 3 to begin the second quarter. Fires the 3, and it's Shireman missing. The Sixers lead by 16. George passes to Grimes. Back to George. And count that. 2 points and a chance for one more at the line.
Yeah, that's vintage Paul George right there. He kept his composure, and he completed the play.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Edgecombe, he's checked in for the Sixers. And at his peak, Paul George averaged 7 free throw attempts per game. Tim, that number's seen a precipitous decline.
Well, in particular, the last few seasons, and I think with his injury concerns, B.A., you understand him being less inclined to hunt contact.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Jason Tatum keeping the main thing the main thing. He said there are players that get caught up in the lifestyle, and they choose that over the game. The money is a plus, yes, but I truly love the game because I love basketball, not for the things that come with it. Brian, back to you.
You'd love to hear it. Allie, thanks very much for the report. Here's Tatum after the Sixers picked up a basket a moment ago. Tim, growing up in the D.C. area, at what point did you fall in love with the sport of basketball?
Well, B.A., the first team I loved were the Washington Bullets in the late 70s with Elvin Hayes. They won that one championship in Washington.
Take a break.
But Larry Bird coming into the league in 1980 really changed everything for me. That's when I truly fell in love with the sport, emulating a guy like that.
Greatest player from the DMV.
Oh, I guess I'd have to say Kevin Durant, certainly.
And Tim Legler, of course.
Even better answer.
Just money from the line. Tatum knows the importance of making free throws.
He's perfect from the line this time.
And Tatum is really a prototypical player for today's NBA. He's a do-it-all wing with great size, an effective jump shot. Plus, he's got that hunger you want in a star player.
And the Celtics in possession here. Philadelphia getting their last shot to go. Here's Shireman. Off target from outside.
And they're +5 on the boards after that rebound.
Pass to Edgecombe. Drummond with the screen. George for three. Outside Grimes. Offensive board. Here's Drummond. Well, it was only a matter of time before they finally get the bucket.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to draw Drummond as my assignment inside. You body him up, hack him, it still has no effect on him.
Here's Shireman. Still without a bucket. Outside Grimes. Launches a three. Here's Drummond. And a big-time jam. He slams it right over Vucevic.
Oh my. What a display of effort.
That's his bread and butter, right? Chasing down the boards.
And he showed you great timing as well. Offensive rebounding, one of his specialties.
Offensively, it's been a struggle for him.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance.
Nice ball movement by Boston. Tatum from long range. Again, the miss by Boston. Philadelphia with the ball. They're on a 13-4 run. And here's Grimes. 5 points in the game. George for three. The rebound by Jason Tatum. Pass to Pritchard. Back to Tatum. Oh, Tatum slams it home.
When you have Tatum releasing on a screen, you know you have to find him.
Philadelphia leading by 23. So Nick Nurse has decided to call timeout here. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Let's see how last year's top scorers stack up on the 2K leaderboard. 5th, Jason Tatum.
This is a guy who never took a night off. You look at his numbers and you know that he put in a tremendous effort every single game.
Here's Edgecombe, defended by Brown. Pass to Maxey. Back to George. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Embiid. Embiid drawing the double team. Lets the three fly. Edgecombe, no good. The Celtics have gotten only 2 of 8 field goals to go in the second. Now here's Hauser. Outside, Brown. Outside Tatum. The three ball. Kick out to Brown. Pass to Hauser. Shoots over George. Hauser can't get it to go.
Hard to turn down a look that good. Still, long twos are losing favor, and misses like that are the reason why.
Now here's Maxey. Here's Edgecombe. Philadelphia needs to get off a shot. Three-pointer. And it's Maxey missing. And here's White. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. 18 feet out. Rebound Boston. Kid has got 6 rebounds here tonight.
He is just ice cold. Luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Tatum with it. He's against Watford. And it's Tatum missing.
Yeah, he's really scrambling to keep them in this game. Gotta respect that hustle.
Count it.
A solid finisher in close. Edgecombe's agility lets him find good angles.
Outside White. Pass to Keita. Outside Tatum. The three is up. He's off on that one.
And right now, they're +8 in the rebounding category. That's helping them run away with this.
And Edgecombe gets it to go.
Like a matador. Olé! There was no defense. That has to be one of the easier shots I've seen tonight.
And they are just breaking the will of their opponent.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Boston making a switch here. Pritchard's checked in. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Oubre's checked in. Now here's Pritchard. White with a screen on Maxey. 6 to shoot. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Embiid's got rebound number 8 here already in the game. Takes a step back, tries to break his ice. The three from Edgecombe. Doesn't go that time. The Celtics shooting just 21% from the floor. Out to the wing. Philadelphia moving it around. Embiid, high post. Keita pulls it in. Keita's got 7 rebounds in the game. Ooh, anticipated the pass. It's a turnover. Embiid gets the bucket. Embiid's got 10 points in the game.
Well, Embiid is a powerful player, one who is used to pushing his way through contact.
Brown passes to Hauser. Outside Pritchard. Back to Hauser. Pass to White. To snap the cold streak. And Watford pulls it down. Watford's got 4 rebounds now.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
Yep, that one's good. He's got 5.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Yeah, he can taste a win right now. He's just trying to close it out.
Now here's Pritchard. Brown scanning the floor. Hauser outside. Kick out to Brown. Second chance shot, and rejected. To the paint, Pritchard with a steal. Outside, Brown. It's hauled in by Oubre.
Still looking for his first make, and they could really use the help right now.
Maxey on the wing, defended by Pritchard. Watford outside. Pass to Edgecombe, and that'll be Philadelphia's ball as it goes out of bounds. Sixers able to keep the possession, and the 76ers with some changes. Barlow comes in for Watford, and it's Paul George in for Oubre. Clock is at 3. For 3, George. Hauser grabs the board.
Yeah, they're winning despite his offensive performance. He just hasn't been sharp from the field.
Seen that play develop ahead of time. Hits his man in stride.
Philadelphia dictating the flow. Left side, Maxey. Pass to Edgecombe. Now here's Embiid. Not a lot of room. Here's Edgecombe. Pritchard with a steal. 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Outside White. Driving to the basket. Off target at the rim.
And it just feels like his poor shooting has been contagious to his entire team as they find themselves trailing.
Embiid with it. That misses. Would have counted had it gone. And through the first half, a pretty lopsided. Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be back right after the break for the third quarter here on 2K Sports.
Welcome, one and all. Before we hear Kenny and Shaq's insights on that first half, let's look ahead and check out the upcoming schedule.
Looking at Philadelphia, you can think you know your team, but you have no idea until the real game begins.
You don't have to be a finished product right now, right out the gate. Just set the table early and build from there.
Now let's talk about that lopsided first half. Obviously, a lot of work to do for the Boston Celtics.
Where is the rebounding? They're getting pushed around and eaten alive. This is so embarrassing.
Yeah, that's something they need to fix if they want to get back in this game. Thanks for tuning in. Now we head back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it's been a runaway. Paul George with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Can they come up with an answer for him coming out of the half? They have to change something defensively.
And that will be the biggest adjustment. They have to force the ball out of his hands, but that's a difficult challenge.
Taking a look at Philadelphia. Maxey and Edgecombe man the backcourt. Then there's George. Then it's Joel Embiid. And it's Barlow in at the four-man position. Now here's Brown. Rebound by Philadelphia. Maxey's got 4 rebounds now. Philadelphia moving it around. White with the steal. Hauser outside. Pass to Keita. White for 3. Dunks it hard with one hand. Wow, he makes it look easy.
Crashes the glass with authority, then puts it back strong.
Next level, man. This guy's just going out and making a play. Here's Barlow. Puts up a 3, and that's good. Maxey for 3. Maxey's got his 3rd basket on the night right there.
And if you look at these early years for Tyrese Maxey's career, you can see he has increased the number of threes he's taken year by year.
Tatum from long range buries it from 3. Tatum's got 11.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Yeah, just going back and forth, it is really competitive out there.
And Philadelphia calls time here. A look now, post-All-Star break, breaking down three-pointers and other shots for Boston.
And they've been cooking from downtown, shooting with volume and efficiency. It's a strong attack from them offensively, and it puts so much pressure on opponents to try and cover all that space.
Here's Maxey. Pass to Edgecombe. Now Maxey. Boston with a rebound. Keita's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. How about the motor of Tyrese Maxey, Tim? He just does not quit ever.
He's one of those guys who tracks the most miles run during games. Maxey probably wears out his shoes faster than anyone. Sharp turns, hard cuts. He's always on the move.
White, good.
Well, those are the ones you're happy to get every trip down the floor if you can.
Pass to George. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Fires the 3. Tatum pulls it in.
Not himself from range right now, but the only way out of this funk is to keep trying.
A leaner. Basket counts. Tatum's got 5 points now this quarter.
And this offensive surge is just what they needed right now.
Here's Embiid. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. Well, Grant, if you had to say, is there anything you think is underrated about Embiid?
You know, B.A., I think it's his intelligence. Joel's a heady player. Sometimes big men don't get enough credit for their smarts on the court. Embiid knows the game.
First free throw is good. And when we talk about NBA wings, Legs, what are the most important skills in your mind?
Well, everybody's going to talk about scoring and also being able to defend your position. But for me, to become an elite wing, you also have to be able to create, add that escapability with your handle.
And so he's able to get one of two.
Yeah, and you talk about presence in this league. That's something Joel Embiid certainly has. As soon as he steps on the court, you have to adjust everything you're doing to account for him.
The Sixers lead by 23. Maxey with it, now guarded by White. White against Maxey. Oh, nice fake, but the layup's off the mark.
Yeah, just 25% to start this half. They're going to have to start getting higher percentage shots.
It's clear he's totally out of sync. The team needs to rethink its strategy around what to do with him.
George's shot is off.
Well, it certainly hasn't been a smooth start after the break. Just 1 for 5 here to start the third.
Back to Tatum. Outside White. Back to Tatum from deep. Again, the miss by Boston. For Philadelphia, they've gotten just 1 of 5 shots to drop since halftime. Here's Edgecombe. Embiid passes to Barlow. Here's Edgecombe. Embiid, a screen on Brown. Pass to Embiid from behind the arc. Boston pulls it in. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question, way too many empty possessions for them. He just keeps firing from distance. I know he's trying to heat up, but at what cost?
Here's Barlow. 10 points for him. Embiid, a screen on White. Pass to Embiid from the arc. Tatum pulls it in. Tatum's got rebound number 8 now. Outside White. To win the drought. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, that's really crafty that time by Paul George. He got his defender off balance, and now he gets a shot to go to the line.
And this is his 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first.
Yeah, Paul George is the consummate professional. Some nights he's the alpha, and then some nights he can understand he has to take on a secondary role.
George hits them both. And White has got the ball here for Boston. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Thanks, BA. The Celtics trying to keep that laser focus. Coach Joe Mazzulla said, quote, "The closer you are to winning, the easier it is to become distracted by things that you can't control, things that don't matter. Mindset, discipline, and mental toughness are what separate you." Back to you.
Staying dialed in. Allie, thanks very much for the report. Tatum, a screen on Maxey. Here's White.
And wow, since the break, he has struggled to get going.
Boston, no good that time either. That one falls. Barlow's got 12 points.
Well, that's just a veteran understanding how to play. Paul George knowing exactly where to go with the ball.
Pass to Brown. To stop the drought. Oh, the teardrop falls in.
The floater can be a tricky shot, but that's the right choice.
So it's Philadelphia now. George outside. Back to Maxey. Here's the 3. And it's Jason Tatum with a rebound. Tatum's got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. To the middle. Oh, George with a steal. And now the Sixers on the break. And it's Maxey missing.
He's lost his rhythm completely this quarter, but he's determined to stay after it.
To the inside. Tatum with a steal. And here's the fast break. Brown passes to White. Here's Keita. Embiid covers. On the wing, Tatum. Clock at 6. Hauser outside. No good on the 3.
Yeah, so many times we will see shooters of any caliber miss that wide open 3.
Here's Barlow. He's got 12. The Sixers again can't hit. Pass to Tatum. There's the 3. Counted from distance. Tatum's got 8 here in this quarter.
And that's his second 3 of the half. He is starting to cook from deep.
For 3, Maxey. The shot no good. Good work defensively by White. Tatum finds White. Nice ball movement by Boston.
Who's watching him?
Keita, the pass to White. It's stolen. Fast break. Here comes Philadelphia. Here's George. And the jam by George.
Well, we see he's still got some life in those legs. I see you, Paul George.
The Celtics shooting 35% in the third quarter. Tatum passes to Brown. Back to Tatum. Takes the 3. Paul George pulls down the board. George has got his 6th rebound on the night. Maxey on the wing. Misses the 3. Boston shooting just 24% in this one. Not great. Tatum. Good. And Brown gets the assist. Brown's got his 4th assist with that last one.
He is totally locked in offensively and doing everything he can to bring his team back.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call timeout here. He's going to take a minute to regroup with his players. Tim, so many different offensive systems in the NBA. You have a personal favorite to watch?
Yeah, I think I've got a soft spot in my heart for those systems that involve player movement and ball movement, particularly trying to get shooters looks off of screens.
I love the .5 offenses, in and out of the hands, moving the ball fast.
No doubt about it, very difficult to defend.
So Boston ends up going with a new group. Shot clock at 6. Here's Embiid. Nice D from Vucevic.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing him get bottled up like that. Wow.
Rebound by the 76ers.
And you see the frustration on his face. He had a great opportunity there, and he blew it.
And it's blocked. Pritchard, the pass to Gonzalez. Here's Shireman for 3. Goes back up. Vucevic's shot is off. The Sixers lead by 22. Pass to Watford. Back to George. And here's Watford. Now here's Embiid. George outside. Jacks up a 3. He buries it from 3. George has got 17.
And that's his second three-pointer tonight.
Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket.
It's Vucevic, high post. Embiid's there. From the top of the key. Rebound by Philadelphia. Embiid's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. George outside. Here's the break. Pass to Vucevic. To the middle. Ooh, the lead pass was in the perfect spot to set up the layup. Vucevic has got his second basket on the night. The Sixers lead by 23. Watford the pass to George. To the paint. From 7. Here's Embiid. And Embiid throws it down.
Yeah, Embiid right at the rim. That looked easy.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Pritchard, the pass to Gonzalez. Here's Pritchard. Shot is up. Rebound by the 76ers. Embiid's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. To the left wing. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And so it's Philadelphia up 25 big ones as we head into the next period. Their defense has forced a number of key turnovers, giving them a clear advantage on possessions. And don't go far. We'll be right back. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Well, coaches love unselfishness, and this is exactly what they're referring to.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Jason Tatum out there with Nikola Vucevic. Then there's Peyton Pritchard, and it's Shireman in at the 2. That's the Boston 5. And it's Tatum missing. And so it's Maxey who brings up the ball for the Philadelphia 76ers. And we're seeing some younger teams really on the rise here. Any particular reason, Grant?
Well, you know, it's part of the natural order of things. Certain players will dominate, and when they age, there are always those young upstarts vying to take the lead.
Boston shooting just 24% in this one. Not great. Pritchard against Maxey. Pritchard, the pass to Tatum. Here's Shireman. The 3 is up. And Grimes pulls it down.
I mean, he's trying to shoot his way out of what's becoming a prolonged cold streak.
And he doesn't have to do it alone. He's got 4 teammates on the floor.
And the jam by Drummond.
This team trusts Maxey to make good decisions with the ball.
Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. Pass to Vucevic. Now Pritchard. That one falls. Coming off the Vucevic feed.
Defensively, you can't afford to get stuck on the pick.
Well, you just have to communicate those switches. If you don't, it's on you.
Now here's Drummond. And here's Maxey outside. Gonzalez pulls it in.
Trying to close out. You got to know who's hot and who's not.
Tatum against Oubre. Right side Pritchard. Launches a 3. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got rebound number 8 here already in the game. Pritchard against Maxey. The 3 from Edgecombe. And it's cleared by Vucevic. Vucevic has got his 7th rebound here tonight. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Now here's Tatum. Defense is right there. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And finished off by Tatum.
Poor rim. Tatum plays with such an edge.
Oubre against Tatum. Outside Maxey. Fires for 3. Boston with a rebound. Vucevic has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Now Pritchard. Outside Tatum. Pass to Shireman. There's the triple. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Oubre passes to Grimes. Back to Oubre. And the layup is good off the glass. Oubre's got his first 2 points of the night.
That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
Pritchard surviving the D. And with players now able to earn money at the collegiate level, what does that do for the NBA legs?
Well, I do think overall it's a good thing. As a former college athlete myself, I love to see these guys get rewarded, and possibly you get to the league, you're a little bit more polished and grown up.
Bottom line is you may have made some money, but when you have a chance to play against the best of the best, that's why you go pro.
There's nothing like it.
Jaylen Brown, he's checked in for Boston. Walker, he's checked in for the Sixers. Watford comes in for Maxey. Boston's gone only 1 of 4 from the perimeter here in this fourth quarter. They set the screen. Tatum passes to Brown. That falls. Nice feed that time from Tatum.
Well, they're on the right path now, but still in a pretty big hole.
And they seem to have found something out there. I like the confidence they're playing with.
Here's Pritchard. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
And there's not a ton of time left, but they're still in the game.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
Well, not content to take what the defense gives them. I mean, they're attacking the gaps and getting the ball inside.
And I also really like the pace they've played with in this one, specifically how high tempo it's been, clearly working to their advantage so far.
And here's George. Embiid, a screen on Brown. Inside. And there's Embiid. That one's good. And the assist by George. And the 76ers lead by 21. Boston on offense. They're on a 13-4 run. Brown with a screen. Three-pointer, Pritchard. Paul George pulls down the board. George has got rebound number 8 now. Down low. Pass to Edgecombe. Uses the glass on the layup.
A point-blank range. That is too easy.
The Celtics have got 5 out of 10 shots to drop here in the final quarter. Back to Tatum. And here's Pritchard. Nice ball movement by Boston. Left side, Brown. The rebound by Embiid. Embiid's got rebound number 13 tonight with that one. Barlow passes to Embiid. George outside. Top of the key. Boston with a rebound.
Oh, and he's a very good mid-range shooter, but the defense was all over him there, making that a very difficult shot.
Philadelphia leading by 23. To the middle. Oh, deflected. Vucevic with a steal. White for 3. Grimes with a defensive effort. Philadelphia has gone 1 for 5 shooting from the arc here in the fourth. George for 3. The putback. It's good on the putback.
Defensively, they've got to get more bodies in the paint. That's 3 straight field goals from below the free throw line.
Pass to Tatum. Oh, Tatum slams it home.
He almost brought the basket down on top of himself.
Oh, there's hang time, and then there's a time to hang. George against Brown. Embiid, a screen on Brown. Lets it go. George with the bucket. George has got 19 points. And so it's Tatum who brings up the ball for the Celtics. Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
4-3, and a great assist by Brown as that one goes in. Brown's got 6 assists now in the game. Philadelphia leading by 22. And timeout is called by Nick Nurse. He is not messing around, calling them into the huddle. And now it's time for our presentation of the player of the game, Paul George.
And I just love to see a player who plays with an aggressive mindset. I mean, he had the energy and the intensity all game. He didn't waste any time when he had his chances out there by attacking the rim.
Man, if only he could play this well every night. This hometown crowd was not prepared for him to just go off like he did in this one. Pass to Terry. Now Martin. To the inside. Now Drummond. Martin outside. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Hauser. Now White. He's guarded by Martin. Back to White. Left side Tatum. Outside White. Three-pointer. Rebound by Philadelphia.
And their physical dominance has been on display. A 10-rebound advantage is a good indicator of how this game has gone.
The Celtics have gotten 7 of 16 attempts to drop since the start of the fourth. Tatum passes to Brown. Fires from deep. Philadelphia grabs the miss. Drummond's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Oubre passes to Drummond. Here's Terry. He's guarded by White. Back to Drummond. Picked it out of midair. On the break. And here's Brown for three. Drummond grabs the miss. The Sixers lead by 22. Terry, the pass to Oubre. Now here's Martin. Oubre with it. Inside. Tipped. Fast break. Here we go. And the jam by Brown.
And really showing the athleticism. Flying solo.
Well, he had the spotlight. Why not add a little flair?
Now here's Oubre. Here's Terry. And another miss by Philadelphia. Outside White. There's 1:34 left in the fourth quarter. They set the pick to the paint. Shot clock at 5.
And this one hasn't been in doubt for a bit now. They came out on a mission, and you can bag up this win for the 76ers.
Offensively, they made the most of their trips.
They found multiple ways to score consistently, and a little luck doesn't hurt them either. They also got some nice bounces off the rim tonight, too.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year. And while there were some guys out there that played well, what really stood out was the production for Paul George.
Well, he was just a menace out there defensively. He pressured the ball. He played passing lanes. Just a total disruptor.
Drummond, a screen on Pritchard. Drummond with the bucket. Drummond's got 4 points in the quarter.
Showing off some mobility there. When Drummond rolls like this, he's hard to stop in pick and rolls.
Three-pointer, Pritchard. Rebound by Philadelphia. Here's Oubre. Pass to Edwards. Here's Drummond. Back to Edwards. Philadelphia moving it around. Here's Grimes. Nice fake there to create the shot, but it's no good. And Tatum's got the ball here for the Celtics. Let's go with a three. And Watford pulls it down. Edwards against Tatum. Outside Edwards. So no problem for Philadelphia as they get the win. This one wasn't even close. The hometown crowd.
Everyone who joined us.
Thanks, Allie. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up.